Hey everyone, welcome to the another episode of Every Story Matters. And today we have got such a special guest, Sanjay Arora. Hello, Sanjay Ji.
Hi there.
Right. So the theme of our podcast, Sanjay Ji, is Every Story Matters. What's your story?
So, Alali, before I tell you my story or something, I was speaking at the TEDx at Hyderabad, and the title there was Human Library.
Yeah.
Or was it Nikmat? I keep forgetting.
Hmm.
So, the human library, and where I started with this, that every human being is actually, that was the theme of their program, that every human being is actually a walking, talking, experiential book.
Hmm.
And the unfortunate part is we don't get interested in other people's life stories and what they've been through, and therefore we miss out on so much learning which is absolutely free. You have to buy a book worth 10,000, 5,000, 500, whatever, right? But this is free. So first of all, congratulations to you on starting this,
Thank you.
whatever you've been doing for some time now.
Yeah.
This series called Every Story Matters, which is trying to bring this human library online.
Yeah.
So, first of all, compliments to that.
Thank you so
And
much.
then I have had a very interesting story since I was the black sheep of my family. I used to fail my exams. In fact, my 12th I flunked, got 09 out of 100 in
Oh my
mathematics.
God.
So I've been through the tough, the worst of the times, and I've been just blessed. I wouldn't say I did anything to bounce back and come back, and now speaking across the globe in a way on the subject that I love the most, or the second most, but the first one is of course yoga and spirituality, which I don't speak about. I
Yeah.
only practice it. But branding and marketing is something which has been close to my heart, and it's been a profession for 40 years now.
Wow.
So I try and leave behind something. I go to all educational institutes that invite me, and also of course the corporate workshops, etc. So coming back was not planned. So as I said, everything happens to a grand design. Maybe
Yeah.
we don't understand that. And so I started with a small time job in Delhi.
Hmm.
Realized soon enough that okay, I'm not cut out for a big town. So
Yeah.
came back to my hometown, that is Nagpur. Started my own agency as a one-man show
Yeah.
at the age of 24,
Yeah.
and gradually built it up. And it's still on today. My son is with me in that now.
Wow.
And I work as a keynote speaker, consultant across various cities, countries, etc.
Amazing.
And I'm having a good time doing that,
Lovely.
leaving behind some knowledge that I have gathered and trying to impart whatever I can for whatever time that's left.
Amazing. So when I met you and we had a couple of conversations, and then I started observing you, how humble and how cool you have been with everybody. Like, what's the reason of that? Like,
There's no reason. I think uh, ego is something of a defense mechanism for us, a defense mechanism. Because somewhere if we feel we are insufficient to cover it, we have this massive ego in terms of trying to become something, portray something. At the end of the day, just like I told you before this conversation also, 10 years after we are gone, no one probably, except for your immediate family, will even remember your name. Okay, so what's the point in carrying it all over, that burden all around you, and always creating a kind of a shield around you when people can't reach out and be with you. So I don't think, in fact, it takes effort to not be who you are naturally,
Yeah.
and we
I
expend a
love
lot
that
of
point.
we expend a lot of energy and time in that. And if you just let it be, it comes so naturally. It's lovely to be that way.
Wow, amazing. You talk a lot about marketing and branding, right? And I teach storytelling. According to you, how much do you think storytelling is important in branding and marketing?
Storytelling is the crux of branding, if you ask me.
Okay.
Because brands are built on basic products, which are, most products are today absolutely the same. There's no difference between product A and product B most of the times, except for the
Right.
patents. Those are different issues.
Sure.
What you layer on them and which gives them a dimension and depth, and therefore maybe desirability, is the emotion. And emotion comes from stories. And if that brand doesn't have a story which is authentic and rooted in some truth, then of course the story is false and it will fall apart sometime soon. But if it is rooted in something really authentic, uh, then it grows from a product to becoming a brand.
Hmm.
So storytelling is at the heart of brand building.
Right. I love it.
Mm.
I completely agree with your point, sir, because storytelling, I believe that everybody has a story. And today people have sometimes they shy away from telling stories, right?
Right.
There are people that I met, sir, who have wonderful stories, but they are not being very comfortable sharing their story. What's your message for them?
As again, like I said before, just be natural. we all have failures in lives.
Hmm.
A failure needn't necessarily be fatal. We all have our flaws. We had this lovely session downstairs, if you remember yesterday, Flossom,
Sure,
which was an
Flossom.
eye opener, right?
Yeah.
Because we try to hide the flaws, and that makes us so unnatural in life. So, no two buffaloes compare that you are heavier than me, or
Yes.
blacker than me. But it's only the humans who are always in the comparison mode, and that comparison mode is what brings across these issues of creating a flawless, refined, perfect personality, which we all know doesn't exist. So why portray it?
I loved it. So let's see, if I want to build my brand from scratch, what are the things that I should do almost every single day?
So first thing is, why do you want to build a brand? Figure
Okay.
out that objective, the big purpose first. Why? And what's in it for the rest of the world? Because you may want to build a brand, but the world may not want to. So you have to have something for the world out there whom you're going to mean something.
Yeah.
And that is the meaning, is the brand at the end of the day, right? If you
Right.
first figure out why you want to build a brand and who is it going to be useful for, so that becomes your target audience or potential customer or whatever, right?
Sure.
That's the next step. And then figure out, as you said, your story.
Yeah.
What will make what you want to offer? Okay, so there may be hundreds of people offering the same thing.
Right.
What will differentiate you from all of those others?
Hmm.
And that is your crux of your element of your story,
Right.
which makes it authentic. And it has to be rooted in some strength or something that you've got, and not transplanted from outside or superficial. Then
Right.
it won't stand the test of time. And
Hmm.
then consistently narrate that story in different ways, the essence remaining the same, but it doesn't get boring because you keep repeating it verbatim. So you have to find creative ways of communicating the same thing,
Sure.
okay, but have something consistent around it,
Yeah.
which builds memory, and
Hmm.
gradually you will start getting the traction that you need.
Right. What are the mistakes that you think people make when they build their brand?
The biggest mistake I see is everyone wants to be a brand or want to build a brand, but they don't know why. They don't know
Okay.
how. So
Hmm.
why is the biggest thing?
Yeah.
Like Sinek said,
Yeah.
if you don't have the answer to the why, who will care about you?
Sure. Get it. Okay, sir, last few questions. If I have to ask you, what is the best piece of advice you've ever heard or received, what would that be?
Best is stay human. That's most important. More than anything else, what matters to people around you and what will bring you the greatest happiness is not all the money that you're going to own, all the appreciation, applause
Yeah.
that you're going to have, but being a good human being, and therefore people wanting to reach out to you and remember you.
Wow, I loved it. Loved it. Okay, if you have to give our audience a couple of books recommendation who wants to build brand and doing great in marketing, you have some suggestions for them?
So I have got a section, a highlight section on my Instagram, which is only about books and the books
Okay,
that I recommend and
lovely.
my reviews of those books. I suggest you go and see those,
Sure.
and they'll really help you.
Okay, last question. What's your dream for the world?
A much more peaceful world than it is today. In fact, we seem to be currently going in the opposite direction of more divisiveness. And once upon a time, we used to have something called globalization.
Yeah.
Today, we are kind of again fragmenting back into individual countries, regions, cities.
Right.
So I think all these structures which are man-made, we need to understand as human beings, we all belong to the same species, and we
Yeah.
need to start going back to being good to each other and being more humane.
Amazing. What's the impact you want to have on the world?
I can't have any impact. I'm too small to have an impact on the world. I don't like these big things.
Okay,
If I
okay.
can only keep my family, my neighborhood, people I meet happy, I'm
Wow.
happy with that.
Amazing. And last question, how was the podcast?
I'll see it and I'll comment when it comes out.
Sure. And do you have any suggestions for me? Any?
I just give you a lot of suggestions.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you
thanks a
so much.
lot.
Thank